everybody. Today we're going to be making the Aspen joggers by Samantha Marie Designs. So you're going to have four pocket pieces, your elastic, your waistband, your back and front leg pieces, and we are doing the basic hem leg. So to get started, we are going to find our front pieces of our pants. So we're going to be looking for the one that is straight across and doesn't have the curve to it. We're then going to take those pants. Mine are already right sides together, but you will put yours right sides together and then we are going to clip down this curve right here. And then we are going to serge along that curve. So now that we have that piece together, we are going to grab our pockets. We are going to have those right sides together and do that with both of those pockets. Then you will clip along the curves and then we're going to serge down both of those curves. Okay, so this next part is optional. I just think it makes it look way neater. So you're going to open up those pockets with right sides facing out. And then I'm going to top stitch along these seams right here. Make sure that when you're top stitching that your pockets are opposite. So you'll have one going this way and you'll have another one going that way. So for this next part, you can use some water tape or glue or just some pins. Um, I'm going to use a washable glue stick, but I'm just going to go in between these layers and do just a little bit going down just to stick these layers together. And then I'm going to go on the back and do a little bit, and the same thing for down here. Okay, so when you do the bottom, you're going to flip this up to just hold that down. And I like to take some clips to kind of hold that down while it has time to kind of dry a little bit. And then I come and do the same thing to this side. I like to do the bottom first, so whenever it comes over, you don't have the open bottom down here. And then you'll repeat to this side. Okay, so now we are going to lay out our front pants, and we are going to take our pockets and lay those on top. So we're going to meet this edge over here and this edge right here, and clip, and then clip over here. You can take that washable glue and kind of make a line to where this pocket will help stay. You can use Wonder Tape, but I have experienced Wonder Tape kind of makes the hemming part a little more difficult. It was like my needle didn't want to go through all the layers and Wonder Tape, so I find either a few dabs of glue or just a pin being the best option. And then we're just going to repeat those same steps to this pocket. I'm also going to make sure the spacing between the pockets are nice and even. And then you're going to top stitch down and then over the bottom on both sides. Now that we have that done, we are going to set that to the side and grab our back pieces. We're going to have those right sides together, and then we are going to clip this curve right here, and then we will also serge down that curve. Now we are going to lay our front and back pieces right sides together. We are going to match up those top corners on both sides and add a clip. And then we're going to go down to the bottom and match up the bottoms of our pants on both sides and add our clips. And then we're going to come over here to our pocket and make sure it's all laid flat. And we're going to add a clip. We're going to do that on both sides. Then we are going to match up those crotch seams and clip down the legs. You will then serge down this side, the middle section, and then this other side right here. Remember to make sure that your pockets are correctly positioned before you serge down the sides. We're going to set that to the side and work on our waistband. With right sides together, we are going to bring those raw edges together. We are going to make sure that we do not do the hack of folding it before we serge it, because if we do that, we're not going to be able to put the elastic through the waistband. Now, there are two different ways to do this next step. You can either go ahead and serge on your waistband and leave a little gap where you can guide this elastic through, or you can go ahead and close up your elastic and then serge your band on with the elastic inside the band. That is the option I'm going to do. I feel like it is way more easier that way, so I'm going to head to my sewing machine and add a zigzag stitch over the end of this elastic to close it up. Okay, so I have that elastic waistband closed, and now I'm going to take this waistband and quarter it. So I'm going to fold it in half and then pull those sides together. And where the other side is, I'm going to make a little notch, and then I'm going to meet that notch mark with my back seam of my waistband and make notches on those sides, on both sides, just so I can put my waistband on evenly. We're then going to grab our pants and we are going to locate that back seam. You're then going to put your elastic inside that waistband. And then you'll bring that seam up to match that back seam and add a clip. We are then going to take our waistband and find those notch marks and match those up with each seam. So each notch mark will match a seam. We're going to make sure we are also tucking in our elastic into our waistband as we go around. And then we're going to head to our serger and serge around that waistband. Make sure that you don't hit the elastic with the stitches. You can pull the elastic as you're going around to help everything stay neat and you don't get any gathers. Okay, so I'm going to try to show y'all how to get this without gathers. So you're going to grab that back band. I always start at the back seam. So you're going to make sure you have all of your fabric layers. Put it up under there. And you don't pull this part, only get your waistband. Just make sure you have all those layers. Okay. I don't ever take my clip off until I get right there. That way my notches still line up. So you're still going to make sure that notch is right there on that seam. Okay, and then you're going to hit that pocket. Make sure you have the top of your pocket out where it's going to get hit by your serger blade. And same, make sure that notch mark is matching up with that seam. And then you got this pocket, make sure it is out and going to get hit. We've got another notch. Match it up with that seam. And then you're going to just finish it off and overlap where you started. Now that we have our waistband on, we are going to top stitch a couple rows on our waistband. So I'm going to use my cover stitch. So whenever you go and you are top stitching, you're going to want to stretch out that band as you go. So then whenever it releases, it's going to create these gathers. So let's head over to the cover stitch. So I always start in the back. So I'm just going to stretch that out and get it under my needle. I'm going to get the top of the waistband at the very edge of my foot. Okay, so apparently my phone messed up and stopped recording the top stitch I did. So I'm going to try again with the second row of stitches. So I'm going to do this next row about an inch under the first row of stitches I did. So I'll put that first row of stitches a little over to the side of my presser foot before I started to do the second row. So you're going to want to make sure that you're pulling that waistband as you go down to straighten out the fabric. And then whenever you release that tension, it's going to bring everything together and give you that gathered waistband look that we're aiming for. And when I reach the starting point, I'm going to cut the starting stitches threads off, and then I'm going to overlap about an inch and then tie off. And then you're going to hem the bottom of your pants. And now we have completed our project and have our finished look. I used heavy double brush poly for my fabric base. You can get this fabric at mlafabrics.com. I will link the fabric and the pattern in the description so it's easy to access. If you have any more questions, please drop them in the comments below. And if you need any more help with any other patterns, please let me know and I can get a tutorial made. Y'all have a great day.